This video contains spoilers for the end of the Sumeru quest, so if you haven't finished it, please do. Alright guys, I have a little theory for you. So, this is the best way I can summarize it. Essentially, my idea is that the siblings are actually from Teyvat. I know that sounds simple and also stupid because just like, no, aren't they from the stars or whatever? But let me explain. So, at the end of the quest in Sumeru, Nahida goes like, I checked the data for Irminsul and it turns out your sibling actually has data. This doesn't make sense because Irminsul only has data on people who are from Teyvat. And so Nahida surmises, that means that our sibling is originally from Teyvat. The character you play as was wondering about that, and there's like, that can't be true. You know, we've traveled the stars for as long as I can remember, etc., etc. Later on, she says they're also now not counted as a dissenter. Dissenters, for those who don't know, are people who are foreign to Teyvat and come into the Teyvat. Like Nahida says later, the Heavenly Principles is one. We are the fourth one. But do I have more evidence besides the fact that Nahida just says that, you know, there's no data about her and we don't count her as a dissenter? Well, here is where I'm going with this. This is one of the earlier cutscenes in the game, and one thing I want to specify right here, or focus on, is right here, Your Highness. Multiple times, the Abyss creatures will label Lumine or Aether as Your Highness, Princess, things like that. Words of royalty. Now, at first, I was just assuming, and I think we were all just assuming, that, you know, that's just what they call her. She's the, you know, leader of the Abyss right now, so calling her Your Highness, Princess, things like that would just make sense. But what if? What if this was actually true? What if Lumine, or Aether, if you were playing as Lumine, were actually the prince or princess of the Abyss? And so maybe that's what Lumine's saying right here. When she's saying that you'll kind of find out eventually, maybe she's implying that he's going to find out about his true origins, that they don't come from the Sea of the Stars, that maybe they do come from Teyvat, specifically, right? Specifically the Abyss. Hello there, Meteor Falcon from the future here, just to say that I do stream on Twitch every single day. If you're enjoying this video, please stop on by. I'm doing a challenge right now where I'm joining 1,000 of the current trials, those little event thingies that are going on right now. I would definitely appreciate the support, and I'm really chill to talk to you. So come on down, tell me what you think about this video. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and continue enjoying. But now you may be wondering, well, how does that make sense? You know, we, as the player character, are not in Irminsul, right? We're not in the data books or whatever, but we are not. How can that be true? Then I got something else. I noticed something else. Check this out. So this is a scene where we meet our sibling for the first time face to face again. And notice something interesting. So this is them when they first see the sibling. Paimon goes like, who could that be? And then you respond with Lumine. And listen to their response. This is interesting.
Aether.
Did you see that? Did you notice that? She calls him Aether. Now, here's the thing. In game, they are not called Aether. We name the characters. Could this be an error, right? You know, could this be just an error of just like, whoever was writing this scene at the moment realized, oh snap, we shouldn't have called them by this name? I don't think so. I really don't think so. This is such a key, pivotal moment for the story of the game, the Dainslev, you know, this is the first, like, Dainslev major story quest. It was so big. This is the first time we see our sibling. I don't think there's any way that they would have messed up. I think her saying Aether, or obviously Aether saying Lumine, is very important. It's very, very important. Because, here's the thing, right? Because you could also say, oh, maybe they wanted to say the name to make the scene more dramatic. True. Very, very true. However, they could have said brother and or sister. And the crazy thing is, they do later on in this cutscene. So the fact that she says Aether makes me think that, what if the person we are controlling, you know, doesn't actually have the name we chose for them, and they are, you know, they are Aether. I know this is like a weird thing to say, but what if they're actually Aether? Hey, this is Meteor Falcon after recording the video. I actually noticed something else. If you keep going with this cutscene when you meet the sibling for the first time, you as the main character mentioned something about home, and then Lumine thinks about the word home. She intently focuses on the word home, right? And she says, home is where we are together. And then after that, she says, but I cannot go with you to the next world to find a new home. At least not yet. I don't know. The specific language there is very interesting because I cannot go to the next world to find a new home. Is she meaning that this is her original home? So again, to summarize, these are my main reasons why I think the twins are indeed part of Teyvat, and us not being in Irminsul, us being seen as a dissenter is actually the weird part. That is actually the weird part. Again, we have Nahida's explanation that she belongs to this world, again, referring to our sibling. We have the Abyss constantly calling them Highness, Princess, Prince. And then we have Lumine calling our player character Aether, or Aether calling our player character Lumine, right? All these things seeming to show that the original twins themselves, Aether and Lumine, are part of this world, were part of this world, and may be Abyss royalty at that. But at the beginning of the game, when we select our player character, and our player character is locked inside these cubes, and it is said right here, a seal was cast upon me and I lost my power. What if that seal in itself not only made them lose their original powers when they had the wings and all that stuff, but what if it made them lose their identity, who they were? What if it sealed that, what if it literally sealed that off from them, and so they were seen as a new being entering this world instead of a, being that already existed coming back? What if it's actually that? But let's say, for example, the same thing didn't happen to our sibling because maybe the sibling was actually freed from their prison before it could fully happen, right? So their identity was still intact, who they were still intact, and etc., etc. But maybe they couldn't save both of us. They could only save the one, and so we were fully sealed and the process fully happened, Of course, that last part is a theory. These three major things that I mentioned, those are actually hard evidence. And then this one being like the whole sealing thing, that's definitely more on the hard theory side. Maybe that explains why Lumine's just like, oh, you'll kind of find out eventually what happens. Like maybe eventually, who we're playing as is going to find out our origins. Maybe that's why the gods say that continuously too. Like Morax has said that, for example, like we can't explain everything to you, you'll find out on your journey. Maybe that's what they're alluding to, right? Maybe they're alluding to the fact that we are part of the Abyss, but they can't reveal that to us because that's, that's probably going to break our minds and everything like that. Maybe we'll find out eventually anyway, and then they're just like, make the choice on your own, like who you want to be. Maybe that's the route that they're taking. I'm not 100%. This is kind of my theory right now. When it comes to one part I didn't mention is, okay, why did they think they lived their entire lives in the Sea of Stars or whatever? What if, right? Whoever was here in the beginning, whether they be the primordial Vishaps, whether they be what was it called, the Heavenly Principles, who Nahida says came here first. What if they could not beat the Abyss, and instead of completely beating the Abyss, they were just like, okay, instead of defeating the Abyss, we will instead stop its legacy, right? We will instead destroy the ones who are going to inherit the throne next. So let's say they took Aether and Lumine and kicked them out of Teyvat, right? Sent them off, flying on the stars, and that's how they went on the stars to travel, because like maybe you can't kill them, maybe they're kind of immortal in a way. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. Again, this is more of the theory part of it, just kind of a bunch of guessing, just throwing stuff at walls, right? Could be it, maybe. I don't know. What you guys think? Tell me what you guys think about the theory in the comments. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you not think I'm crazy? What do you think about these 3 points? I feel like regardless, these 3 points, at least they feel like they have some sort of like foundation, have some sort of credibility at least. It definitely seems very particular that these 3 things, Nahida saying that our sibling is part of this world, being called their highness or princess, and Lumine calling us by not our name that we selected, but the name of the twin itself, is very particular and very unique, and at least needs more investigation. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you leave a comment, tell me what you think, subscribe, of course, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Peace out.